Many years ago, losing a job or not having enough to eat only happened to a few people. In recent times, however, many families in America have started to worry about these problems. For example, Mr. Davis used to work at a big car factory in Ohio. He helped build cars for more than 20 years. One day, the factory closed down because more people were buying cars from other countries. Now, Mr. Davis does not know how to pay his bills or send his daughter, Emily, to school. He is not alone. Melissa, a single mother in Texas, lost her job at a store and has to choose between buying food and paying rent. She feels scared and uncertain when she thinks about the future. There are many reasons behind these problems. Sometimes, new machines take jobs away from people. Other times, big companies move their jobs far away to save money. Local workers are left behind, searching for any kind of work they can find. These problems make it hard for people to dream about a better life. Many children walk past empty shops and homes, wondering if things will ever get better. Even though life is difficult, many people in towns like Franklin and Dallas keep hoping for change. They support each other with kind words and small acts of care. This hope makes their dreams feel possible again, even when it seems impossible. Mr. Davis wakes up early each day, even now with no job to go to. His hands still remember the feel of cold metal and the sounds of the busy factory floor in Ohio. He stands by his window, watching people hurry to work while he stays behind. Sometimes, he wonders if all his years of hard work mattered. He thinks about the company owners who closed the plant and opened new ones in other countries with lower wages. It is cheaper for them, and they make more money this way. The workers in towns like his are left without jobs, their skills and dreams suddenly useless. These big company decisions seem far away, but their effects fill small homes like his with worry and doubt. Melissa feels the same struggle in Texas. She used to enjoy small joys, like packing lunches for her kids before heading to work. Now, after losing her job, she often sits on the front steps, holding a list of bills she cannot pay. She knows that somewhere, business leaders think mostly about saving money. Her old store now uses self-checkout machines, and friendly cashiers like her are not needed anymore. Melissa once believed that if she worked hard, she would always be safe. Now, that belief is shaken. She questions if it is her fault. At night, she struggles with doubts and wonders if she failed her family. When factories close or machines replace people, business owners often enjoy bigger profits. Some leaders in faraway offices decide to move jobs or cut costs so their businesses make more money. Investors benefit too. They see their money grow, but they do not see the sadness or fear on the faces of people in places like Franklin or Dallas. Not everyone suffers, but many must face hard times. When families lose jobs, small businesses, like local bakeries or barber shops, also struggle. Without customers, they too may have to close. School life changes when parents lose work. In Emily Davis's class, some children whisper about moving away because their parents cannot pay for their homes. Emily's friend Mia used to buy lunch at school every day, but now she sometimes skips meals. Teachers notice some children looking tired or sad, but working parents are too busy looking for new jobs to come in for parent meetings. the feeling of safe, happy towns begins to fade. People walk past boarded-up shops on Main Street and wonder if their home will ever feel the same again. One Sunday, the Devises visit Old Mill Park. Mr. Davis sits on a bench while Emily runs ahead. He sees other parents who look worried, speaking quietly or sitting alone. A feeling of doubt hangs in the air. He wonders if things will ever get better. Melissa calls her mom to ask for help with food. She feels guilty, remembering how proud she used to be. Reaching out makes her feel weak, but she does it anyway for her kids. All around, families try to hold on to hope and kindness, although life feels heavier each day. At night, Mr. Davis lies awake and thinks about how quickly things changed. In his heart, he blames himself. He is not sure if he did enough or if he made the wrong choices. Melissa has the same fears. Both of them wish for something better, but do not know where to begin. Even so, they wake up each day, showing their children a smile, wishing that soon things will turn around. Some people in Mr. Davis's town do not believe that change is possible. They feel tired and sad after losing so much, and it is hard to trust anyone who says things can improve. Some large business owners do not want to raise wages or bring jobs back since it would cost them more money. When politicians come to Franklin and say they want to help, many families feel unsure. They have heard promises before that led to nothing. New machines and computers keep replacing jobs, while rent and food prices get higher every month. Many people want things to get better, but they do not always agree on how to do it. In Dallas, a group of neighbors, including Melissa, tries to help each other. They share rides to job interviews and swap leftovers so everyone has enough to eat. But sometimes, when they ask for help from city leaders or big banks, they are told no or receive long forms to fill out with many questions. Some leaders say there is not enough money to help, while others argue about whose job it is to fix these problems. News reports on TV talk about the economy, but the words sound confusing and far away from everyday life. People worry that their voices are too quiet to make a difference. One day, a local group invites Dr. Janet Howard to speak at the community center. She is a well-known expert on jobs and fair pay. She wears a simple blue suit, and her voice is friendly and strong. Dr. Howard explains that these problems did not start yesterday. She says that, for years, companies moved jobs to cheaper cities or overseas to save money. She also says that new technology, like robots and smart computers, makes old jobs disappear, but it can also create new jobs if people have the right skills. Dr. Howard suggests that change starts with learning. She talks about job training centers where workers can learn something new, like fixing machines, computer work, or nursing. She speaks of towns that work together and found ways for their people to build stronger local businesses. Many people in the room listen closely. Mr. Davis is there, sitting in the back. For the first time in months, he sees hope in the eyes of those next to him. Some people wonder how they can afford these classes. Dr. Howard says there are programs that pay for the classes, and sometimes the city or local charities help. She also encourages everyone to ask for more from their leaders, to write letters, attend public meetings, and vote for people who will fight for fair jobs. The next day, a group of people from Franklin, including Mr. Davis, talk about what Dr. Howard said. They set up a small club where they help each other look for work and share news about free classes. Melissa finds out about a training program at her local library. It feels strange to start something new, but with her neighbors cheering her on, she signs up. At first, she finds studying hard and confusing, but every time she learns something new, she feels a little stronger. People in the towns do not always agree on the best answer, and sometimes change feels slow. Some business owners worry that higher wages will hurt their companies. Some lawmakers take a long time to agree to new programs. But the small wins begin to add up. Local businesses hire a few new workers trained through the free programs. Emily's friend Mia gets free lunch at school, thanks to a new plan from the city council. The club at the community center grows a little bigger each week. Not everyone listens to Dr. Howard, and some still argue that the old ways are best. But for the first time, families are looking to each other for support and are gaining new confidence. Each little step forward brings more hope. The simple act of trying, learning, and helping each other makes everyone feel less alone. With each small win, their fears grow a little quieter, and their dreams become a little brighter. Months pass, and it seems like change is coming, but not everyone is ready to accept it. At first, a few businesses in Franklin and Dallas begin to hire workers from the local training programs. Some families finally see hope, but others watch with worry, unsure if this progress is real or will last. Then, a big news story hits the country. A large company that once shut its Ohio factory gives a TV interview, saying new jobs will return if the government helps pay for training and better pay for local workers. Suddenly, everyone is talking about jobs, wages, and what is fair. Social media fills with people sharing their stories. Factory workers, store clerks, single parents, everyone has something to say. More news crews visit small towns, filming empty factories and families around kitchen tables. The growing number of stories puts a bright light on the problem. Some leaders try to stop the talk. They say that changes cost too much, or that people need to work harder, not get help. At the same time, many citizens organize protests in parks and downtown squares. Emily, proud and a little shy, goes with her father to Franklin's main street for the first big rally. Hundreds of people gather, families holding handmade signs asking for good jobs, fair wages, and better schools. The newspaper writes about the protest, sharing Emily's photo and Mr. Davis's words. "We want a real chance. That's all we ask." On radio and TV, people debate if this movement is right for the country. Some call it a new beginning. Others call it trouble. The questions grow louder. What should change, and who should pay for it? Melissa sees old classmates on the internet posting about jobs and support for workers. Some people argue in the comments with harsh words. Others share ideas or even job leads. Using her phone, Melissa joins a group for her town's job seekers. She helps organize a library meeting, making flyers and calling neighbors. The local newspaper puts her picture on the front page after a group visit to City Hall, where they ask leaders to fund more training programs. In Dallas and other cities, similar meetings and calls spread fast. People who never met before, from different backgrounds, come together for one cause. The growing attention reaches lawmakers in Washington. Under the caption, "Communities Ask for Change," national news shows stories of the families from Franklin, including times when tough questions are asked about big companies, unfair wages, and who should pay the price for progress. A popular talk show invites Dr. Janet Howard to explain, in simple words, what local people need and how they can help themselves. She repeats that no single solution will work, but a mix of job training, fairer business rules, and community support could lead everyone forward. Soon, government leaders argue in public meetings. Some say yes to more help for workers, while others claim it is bad for the economy. A few laws are proposed, but not everyone agrees. There is fear from business owners about spending money, and fear from workers about more empty promises. Despite this, the movement for change grows stronger, powered by daily news and the stories of ordinary people. Melissa and Mr. Davis each feel their old doubts returning as the struggle becomes national news. Yet when they look at their children and neighbors, they realize it is no longer just about their own families. The whole country is watching, and action seems closer than ever. The pressure is high. Public opinion moves back and forth. But the hope in their town shines bright, and it feels like a new future is within reach, depending on what comes next. One cold morning, everything changes in Franklin and Dallas. News breaks that the government is about to vote on a big new law. This law would promise extra help for local workers, more job training centers, and stronger rules for businesses. The news comes fast on TV, phones, and through the town. For months, people said they wanted change, and now it feels like all their voices matter. Crowds gather in city parks and outside government buildings, holding signs and banners. Emily and her father join a big crowd downtown, shivering in their coats. Across the state in Dallas, Melissa's group stands in front of City Hall, chanting for fair work and better opportunities. The whole country is watching. On the news, scenes play of families lining sidewalks in small towns, workers outside closed factories waving to cameras, and children like Emily holding drawings of their dreams. The faces and voices are strong. National reporters move from city to city, sharing the words of people who want a better life. In every town, it is clear this is the most important moment yet. Inside the Capitol, voices are angry and loud. Some lawmakers say the plan will cost too much. They argue that business owners will be hurt or leave the country. Others say the pain of the people is too great to ignore. Melissa's face appears on the screen as she testifies, speaking for single mothers who lost jobs. She feels her stomach twist, but finds her words. "We want jobs, not charity. Give us a way to help our families, and our community will give back." Her message is short, but tears shine in her eyes. People by their TVs at home cheer and cry. As the vote draws closer, tension builds. School and office workers crowd around computers to watch. Children at the public library keep their gaze on the big screen in the corner. Local businesses hand out free coffee, saying today is for everyone. The nation seems to pause, each person waiting to see what the future will hold. Emotions run high everywhere. People hug, sing, pray, and some even argue about what should happen. When the final vote is counted, cheers explode in city streets and meeting halls. The law passes by only a few votes, but that is enough. All across Franklin, Dallas, and faraway towns, crowds burst into applause. Emily lifts her sign higher, and Melissa hugs her neighbors with tears of joy and relief. The new law means more programs to help workers, special training centers opening in local schools, and fresh rules insisting that big companies give back to communities. It also brings new hope that families will have real chances, not just promises. Not everybody is happy. A few companies call emergency meetings, worried about changes to their costs. Some lawmakers say they will keep fighting against the plan, afraid it will cause bigger problems later. People argue late into the night on television news and the internet. Still, for now, the story belongs to those who worked the hardest and dared to believe things could change. Kids rush home, parents call faraway family members, and teachers promise new classes for job skills starting soon. For Mr. Davis, Melissa, and their neighbors, this day feels like standing at the top of a mountain after a long climb. The world outside still brings worries and unknowns, but their spirit has changed. Once, many doubted if their voices could ever bring about such a big change. Now they see what is possible when a community gathers with courage and hope. Emily holds her father's hand tightly, surrounded by cheering voices and smiling faces. In that powerful crowd, everyone feels that their small actions have helped turn dreams into something real. After the loud cheers in the streets fade, real life in Franklin and Dallas slowly changes. The new law brings workers and families a fresh sense of hope, but it also brings hard work and new problems to solve. Mr. Davis wakes up before sunrise the day after the vote, not to go back to the factory, but to meet his friends at the new training center opening at the old high school gym. At first, the center is noisy and confusing. People from different jobs now sit together in small classrooms, listening to teachers talk about things like computer basics, fixing machines, and running small businesses. Mr. Davis feels nervous at first. He often worries that he is too old to learn new things, but then he meets others who feel the same way. In the lunchroom, people laugh about their mistakes and encourage each other to keep going. Each day, someone gets a little braver, and together they help each other finish their lessons. Melissa, too, faces many worries. After the vote, more families come to her group looking for advice. With extra funding, the local library offers after-school help for students and night classes for adults. Melissa signs up for a money management class. The first week, she almost leaves, afraid of making mistakes. But then she remembers her speech on TV, when she spoke for all the single mothers who want better lives for their kids. She decides to stay. As the weeks pass, Melissa starts to understand budgets, bills, and saving plans. She shares what she learns with other parents, and soon, the group at the library becomes a team who help each other find better ways to spend and save. At the same time, things are not simple for everyone. Some companies slow down their hiring while they decide how to follow the new rules. In the newspaper, some business owners share their worries about higher costs. The new rules mean they must pay workers more fairly and help local communities. Some small shops even close their doors, unable to pay new wages, and this makes families worry again. On TV, experts say the country is changing. Some towns will win, some may lose. But on the streets, people still talk about the sense of pride from being heard and having a say in their own future. For many, despite new fears, life feels more hopeful. Emily and her classmates draw pictures of what they want to be when they grow up. For the first time, their teacher puts these drawings in the main hallway. Some students want to be computer workers, nurses, or shop owners. Others just want to see their parents smile more. The library brings in new books about jobs and science. One afternoon, Emily's friend Mia asks Melissa how her mother learned about the training center, and then asks her own mom to sign up for classes too. In local meetings and at church gatherings, neighbors talk about lessons they have learned from all the struggle. They say that even one person's action can grow into something big, and that nobody should give up just because things look hard. They also talk about needing to help each other, so nobody is left behind the next time times get tough. The stories of Franklin and Dallas reach even farther. News about the new law and the brave community spreads to other towns, where people start their own groups and push for more fair chances. No one knows if every problem will disappear, but people look to the future with stronger hearts. New ideas come up in meetings, like teaching young students job skills early, making it easier for adults to switch careers, and keeping companies honest. Some problems, like lost jobs, may still take time to solve, but the mood is different now. A door has opened. The whole community sees that big change is possible when everyone shares their voice, dares to work together, and believes in something better. When the sun sets, and Emily stands hand in hand with her father beside the old factory, both feel the past will never return. But something new has begun, and this time they are not alone. Right after the new law passes, everyone in Franklin and Dallas feels the change differently. In some families, people start each day with new hope. Mr. Davis now makes sure to help at the training center, not just for himself but for others who are worried about learning new skills. Some days are hard and some people give up. But on most mornings, the hallways are filled with laughter, coffee, and quiet talk about what comes next. New friends share tips on finding jobs and practice interview questions together. The teachers at the center bring in people who already found new work, letting them tell their stories about starting again after losing so much. At the same time, not everything goes smoothly. Local business owners are forced to look again at their budgets. Sarah Clark, who runs the corner bakery in Franklin, sees her bills rising as wages go up. She does not want to fire anyone or close her shop, but she spends late nights rewriting her menu and searching for ways to sell more bread and cookies. She adds a breakfast item and even asks Mr. Davis's daughter Emily to design a sign to put outside. Some shops try things like news sales, free samples, or working with local farmers for better prices. Parents find their lives growing busier. With children in new after-school programs and adults in training classes, families have new schedules to plan. Melissa's group helps arrange rides to night classes and offers to watch each other's children for a few hours. The community learns how to rely on each other. Neighbors are now much closer than before. People realize that asking for help is not a weakness, but proof that everyone faces hard times sometimes. Churches, libraries, and schools offer free talks about saving money, managing stress, and even starting small businesses. For government leaders, There is now more pressure to be honest and follow through on promises. City council meetings are more crowded than ever before. Citizens line up to ask questions and suggest ideas, and sometimes they disagree or demand faster answers. Some leaders move quickly to check that companies are obeying the new rules. Others work to set up scholarships so the poorest kids can join special science or computer clubs. Public workers also face new jobs. Local officers join classes to learn what support people need, instead of punishing those who cannot pay their bills. In news reports, experts explain how these changes can help towns grow again, but they warn that progress may move slowly, and patience is required. Not all sectors change at the same speed. Large factories have more trouble meeting the new expectations, and sometimes threaten to leave. Small family farms in the countryside are helped by a new program that connects them to local stores and school food programs. Kids visit farms on field trips and learn about growing food. Some farmers invite new workers from the city to learn about planting and harvesting, making their world feel less lonely and more alive. Media outlets keep telling these stories. On local radio, call-in shows let people talk about what is working, what is hard, and what they still hope for. Melissa calls in one morning and tells how her group worked to get books and supplies for the new adult classes. In schools, teachers use new materials that talk about working together and building a strong community. Children learn early that change is never just about rules. It is about courage and helping others, even when it is not easy. The whole town is learning to move forward, step by step, with faith in each other and the future. Months go by and the towns of Franklin and Dallas begin to settle into their new routines. People are still dealing with daily struggles, but now, more families believe in a brighter future. The training centers keep busy as more workers sign up for classes, sometimes even after long workdays or busy mornings at home. Mr. Davis and his friends help the newest students, sharing simple stories and small victories. When someone finds a new job, the group celebrates with coffee and kind words. The teachers at the center notice people have grown more willing to help each other. Forging new friendships has become a lasting change, as working together now feels normal and good. At home, children notice their parents smiling more. Lunches are a little larger and school supplies are easier to find. Melissa volunteers at the library and helps her neighbors fill out job applications or use the computers for the first time. She notices her community is stronger because people are listening and talking more honestly with each other. The city is not perfect. Families still argue about what to do with every new rule or idea, but people no longer feel so alone or helpless. Emily sits with her father some nights, listening as he talks about new small businesses opening up in old, empty shops. The sense of possibility nobody felt for years now flows through the community. Not everything is simple. Some business leaders push back, saying profits are still not high enough, or that paying fair wages is too hard. Debate over how to share costs and rewards continues at city meetings, sometimes in angry voices and sometimes in careful plans. New ideas for business taxes or support for growing companies are argued on the radio and in the newspapers. Some groups think changes are not fast enough, while others believe the shifts happen too soon. People are learning that when one problem gets solved, new ones can show up. With higher wages, prices for milk, bread, and rent also start to go up. Families who were once hopeful worry again, and experts on TV explain that a good change in one part of society can sometimes cause a hard time in another part. Even so, leaders remind everyone that no one solution lasts forever, and every voice still matters. Adaptation is everywhere. Farms now have visits from city workers trying to learn new skills and bring fresh ideas back to town. Schools offer extra classes on business and technology, so students start dreaming about futures that are not only safe but creative and exciting. Older adults, like Mr. Davis, volunteer to talk with children. They tell stories about what the factory was like, how change can be difficult, and what it takes to stand up when life gets hard. Some children help their parents finish homework for night school, making the dinner table a place for more than just meals. One unexpected problem is how quickly information travels now that communities are close, and the news is always talking about the changes. Rumors and worries spread fast, especially if an old company has trouble or a tech program fails. This teaches people that listening, checking facts, and being patient is just as important as taking action. Melissa helps her group learn to read important news articles and talk with local leaders about what is true. People beginning to trust one another again is one of the most important changes in Franklin, Dallas, and nearby towns. Ongoing debates and small problems remain, but the towns refuse to go back to old habits of staying silent or giving up. Every person learns that being part of a change means a lifetime of listening, speaking up, and working side by side, even when the answers are not clear. It is this spirit, and ordinary courage in everyday life, that seems to be the greatest change of all. As time moves on in Franklin and Dallas, life feels different, not only in homes and workplaces, but in how people think about their future. Mr. Davis now stands proudly at the front of his training class, leading small groups through new lessons he once found hard himself. Students listen to each other, helping and cheering during every success and learning from every mistake. He has become proof that change is possible at any age or stage of life. Melissa also takes her place as a leader in the library program. She helps new parents and friends, answering nervous questions and reminding everyone that nobody starts out perfect. Their children look at them and see not just survivors, but true builders of their own futures. With more people helping each other, the cities are no longer divided by fear or closed doors. Local companies, inspired by the new rules, create programs for people to join as interns and learn business skills, even if they did not go to college. Schools connect with farms to provide fresh food and organize regular visits from workers who share job stories with students. Both small shops and bigger businesses take pride in supporting their communities first, realizing that fairness brings loyal customers and stronger neighborhoods in return. These changes reach beyond Franklin and Dallas. Other towns watch, learn, and start their own paths toward fairer workplaces and brighter communities. Government leaders, now used to listening carefully when making new laws, set up regular times for questions and debates. People know they can ask for help and get real answers, and this openness becomes a new tradition. Newspapers and radio shows highlight stories of teamwork instead of only problems, inspiring others and helping everyone see that good things are possible when people stay active and work together. Still, Everyone understands that no law or plan will ever solve every problem forever. What people remember most from their long struggle is the power of staying awake to change, checking on those who need more help, and never believing that anyone's story is too small or unimportant to matter. Kids now learn about teamwork, fairness, and responsibility at school, and they are encouraged to dream big but also look out for others. The lesson is passed from old to young. The future is made by many hands working together, not just a few making all the choices. In the years ahead, both cities make plans for even bigger innovation, like classes in technology and business for every child, health programs for families, and fairs where people can show new inventions and ideas. These long-term shifts keep everyone learning and growing. Melissa and Mr. Davis help organize these new plans and laugh together about how the journey was never easy but always worth it. Looking at all they have done, families and leaders know their story is not just about lost jobs or past laws. It is about seeing each person as valuable, listening without judgment, and acting when they see something wrong. As sunlight wakes up the town each morning, it shines on strong hands, creative ideas, open doors, and eyes looking bravely forward. The biggest change is in the heart, a new habit of hope, supporting each other, and believing a better world starts simple, with one voice and one small act of courage at a time.